Today, it was a little bit of a fruition of the changing levels into that underhook. It really showed some good promise today, but there were a couple of moments for you in the wrestling. The wrestling has gotten a lot better than it was. A lot of high level chain wrestling from both of us. But just be cognizant of that strategy. I'm gonna look for some ways to shut it down for you. I'm really forcing my head into your stomach when I go for singles and doubles because I'm really worried about guillotines. So when I go for singles and doubles, I'm jamming my head into your chest or your stomach or something so you can't force my head into the guillotine position. That may be one thing you want to think about when you're going for singles, because there is a single you went after today where I tucked your head into the guillotine position. In the passing, the emphasis is going to be using my body weight to pin the strong parts of your body. So a lot of the times I was using my shins and my knees and putting pressure in between on the outside of your body to try and get a reaction of you extending your body. And then once you're extended your body, I'll either go for double unders, over unders, and if I can, I'll shoot into a body lock position. And then from there, it's that dilemma of the body lock versus the punch choke. If you punch your hands underneath, I'll slide up into half guard and attack the punch choke like I did today. This is a good example of what not to do. I changed levels when your hand was on my head, so immediately you were able to defend. So you can see that you do it too. And if you're more cognizant of feeling my body pressure with your hand as I change levels, you'll be able to preempt a lot of my attacks. But the thing is, I'm going for that secondary attack, right? So I'm going for change levels, and then as soon as you sprawl, I punch that underhook up. So just be careful about that. You're winning here, so I wouldn't be afraid to squat down into headquarters like you did almost here, yeah? So if my leg is in between your legs in that De La Riva position, if you squat down and put pressure on my shin with your butt, I'm really stuck and I can't move. And that coupled with the pressure on the inside of my left knee like you did is gonna pass my guard a lot of the time. And then the one answer that I have is when you retreat from me, I'm gonna try and wrestle up. So just be careful to extract the leg, and then you can go for guillotines right away, because you did today a couple of times, but just be cognizant of when I come up and wrestle up, the guillotine is right there. And the Darce. This is the only way I can attack deep half, is that fast spin under. If I go underneath you and let you settle on top of me, you're going to Kimura and take my back. So whenever I go to deep half, I'm going to be doing a more explosive diving movement to sweep you in one motion and not settle on that deep half position. I don't think that's a great spot for me anymore. So this is something I had a little bit of success with, was controlling that far foot and threatening a toe hold. It makes you react, and then from there I can pass your guard with that overhook kind of guillotine overhead position. From here I flare my leg out and pass. So I'm not always looking to toe hold, I'm just looking for a reaction sometimes. This was the dilemma that I spammed today. It was the Darce to the Kimura. So if you put your hand down and try to defend the Darce, I went back to the Kimura, and then with the deep Darce, I was able to break your posture here. Great little inversion here, just solid jiu-jitsu. So this general idea was to try and get your limbs away from your torso. So I thought I could deal with that top frame by turning and redirecting the energy. And as long as I had your limbs away from your body, I could settle into side control. But you did a really good job regarding here, so I had to readjust my strategy. It's tough because I'm trying everything. When I get on my feet, I'm very easily sweepable like this. And when I'm on my knees, I'm not very mobile, so I can't chain together attacks. It's tough. I have to really chain the strategy of getting up and down and side to side. It's tough to pass your guard. With this step, you pass most people's guards. With me, I'm able to engage that X guard on that far leg, and I'm trying to take your back at this point. So you did a good job ditching the position and making sure that your back was safe and sacrificing the position of being on top rather than getting your back taken. Always a good trade. This was a sick sweep. Watch how I try and pass your guard by backstepping. And then you just catch with your little ankle. And then the lift. Oh, so sick, man. Really good work. I think that's actually how Volkanovski got out of Islam's body lock passing as well. It's such a good move. Classic case of things not working twice. I think I can't step to the side with that far leg. When I turn to the side completely like that, you know when it's coming. So I think I'm going to do a better job faking that single leg. So one change in strategy and guard today was I didn't let you flatten me out. Last week you did a good job making sure my back was flat on the mat. I did a really concerted effort to wrestle up. So whenever I was in a single leg position today, I was trying to wrestle. And if I could dive into that deep half, I did once, but I was really trying to stand up and initiate a wrestling sequence. So I think the main problem with that was you didn't clear the collar tie when you went for the ankle pick. You just went for the ankle pick, and I had my frame on your shoulder, so you couldn't finish the ankle pick. Next time, if you use your right hand and push my collar tie off your shoulder, then you can get a more direct line to the ankle pick. I think one improvement you can make right away to your wrestling is being more aggressive with snap downs once you have the collar tie. You're letting me do the next move after your collar tie by snapping to this 2-on-1. If you're very powerfully snapping me down and breaking my posture, it's going to be much more difficult for me to initiate any sort of wrestling scramble. Here, you put your head on the wrong side and it was in that armpit area, and then I capitalized by sprawling. It's tough with that shooting for singles and doubles when I have a collar tie or when I can reading your movement. Yeah, it's tough to time. The difference in this position was superior leg pummeling on your part and the willingness to invert from that position. When you threw your body and your hips over like that, it makes your legs super light and you can pummel in a more effective position. So when I'm heavy back on my hip, I'm actually in a worse position for attacks. So when you invert underneath, you give a lot of options for movement and pummeling into the right position. Two positional mistakes. Make sure your head slips out to my back, and then make sure your posture isn't so far broken and bent over that you can't generate force upwards. If your head was aligned with your chest and your knee and your foot more in line in an upright position, you could have lifted me up there and tossed me backwards. You're actually in a far superior wrestling position here with your head position in my chest like that. If you had dropped down in for a double or something, or run me over it, you would have been good. It's just that tough when you have that body posture broken over. I can hook your far leg and twist at the same time. Kind of an ugly throw, but it worked. All it took was a little more of an upper body pull. If you had pushed or pulled me a little bit, I would have been in a really bad spot there. Beautiful move. I think that's going to be your answer from the stand-up if you can chain those things together. Really good work. This is the dilemma I'm going to be working a lot. Body lock to punch choke. Transition from half guard. One incredible detail that I just noticed is how well you're switching sides on me. Yeah, you're going from your left hip, then your right hip, then your left hip, then you're turning, you're not settling into one space where I can be comfortable and start tacking. By switching your hips back and forth and me being relatively stationary and not adjusting, you're changing the angle of attack and making it very difficult for me to do anything. Coupled with the inversion and leg pummeling, man, it's just really great leg attack work. And defense. I think most of your best attacks today were leg attacks. Got to review that. Great work this week. I'll see you next week.